So, hello and welcome back to our weekly eCommerce 99 stream from Run Faster Games. So today we're going to continue talking about the simulation, but we also have a guest. I brought Ian along. He is one of the people working with me on the game. So let's dial him in. Hello, Ian. Oh, this actually
Hello.
worked. We set this all up before the stream, and I'm quite happy that it actually worked live on camera now. So I hope it actually works. I can only see what OBS is showing me. But hello, Ian. Who are you? What are you doing in the game?
Hi. I'm Ian. I am a software developer, and I'm working on a lot of the simulation aspects of the game.
Nice. So today we have you here to talk a bit more in depth about what we like, why we're doing the simulation, and then also about the actual implementation. I also changed the color of my pen to white so you can see it more easily this
It's much
time.
better.
Okay, but before we start with that, I would say let's actually go into the game so we have something nice to look at while we're talking about all this. Let's see, is it working? It's loading. It worked. So I think out of all our different save games, we did the Amazing Store last time, right? Just a caveat, I also used the save game to do some development work, so some things might be a little bit more progressed than they were last time. Wait! Okay, let's get... Oh yeah, I remember. We were focusing on talking about... Wait, we have some... Yeah, now it's better. We have some... we were focusing on explaining the simulation rather than actually fulfilling orders. So we have a lot of people that couldn't get their products sorted because we don't have charging cables. So let me fix this and then we continue talking about the simulation. Or maybe, Ian, you can start talking about why we're doing all this while I fix this.
Sure. Yeah, you've created quite a mess there, so I'll let you go ahead and fix. Oh no.
Yes.
Well, that's to be expected. I mean,
Yeah.
um, um, yeah. So, like, first of all, why do a simulation? Um, just because like a lot of different games in the genre don't necessarily have simulations. And I think there were a couple of goals that we had in mind when we decided that we wanted to do a simulation, which we sort of picked fairly early. I think the first thing is progression. So like part of the fantasy, oh, they're having some trouble there,
Yes,
but
let's see.
I'm sure. Oh,
Oh no. So just as some background, I updated the build, so it might be that the save game has broken. Now we have boxes stuck in shoulders. Okay, but I will try to fix this. You know what? You talk about this. It seems like we probably again need to start a new one. But you go ahead and continue your talk, and I also will make this a little bit less loud.
um, yeah. So, like I was saying, in terms of why, so the first thing is progression, right? So the idea is that you're building like a, a an empire, of sorts, right? So
Yeah.
the progression, like progressing there from getting only a few orders a day to slowly growing and growing and growing, um, I think is a big part of it. Um, and along with that comes decisions, right? So we wanted to make it so that there are interesting decisions to make, and a great way to do that, I think, is the progression system. Uh,
We want
is
to
through
get
having
line
simulation.
go up. Right at the end, it's
Line, yes,
about
line goes up,
line goes up
and
exactly.
at its core, these are incremental games, right? But we want to try and do a little bit more than that, right? Like every day you're going to go and you're going to get some, you're going to level up, you're going to get some unlock points, um, you're going to see all sorts of different like products that you can unlock. You'll have the ability to like look at like what people are trying to buy and decide like do I want to let you do I want to sell one item? Do I want to try and open up a different line of products? Like, do I want to put on sales? Do I want to do more marketing, etc. And so to power behind all that, I think we sort of needed some kind of simulation
And
to
can I just add like this concept of line going up? Like you said, there's a lot of games that do this, right? But what we thought about this was that yes, this is going to happen, but oftentimes there's not really a decision involved on how do you get there, right? It's like you play the game and naturally you will go there. But we wanted to have something where you can actually make decisions to like maybe go this way, maybe go stagnant. Probably the general direction is still up, but your decisions actually have a meaning in this game. Sorry, just completely interrupting your train of thought.
no, I mean I think that's right. Like, there is a line that's going up, but you have some input into the velocity. Um, and I think the third part is just sort of like creating an emergent narrative through uh, all sorts of different like customers that you get. So like every day you'll see different orders come in, and sometimes customers will like order. You might see somebody who orders like six of the same thing, and it's like, well, that person's like reselling those probably, because nobody needs six mice.
What?
Or you'll see all sorts of different things. Oh, you finding new.
I forgot to turn off debug mode and now I'm in the capture camera. I was wondering, like, while I was typing, hey, did I really turn everything off? But apparently I didn't. So you can see a bit behind the curtain, like there you have like the big warehouse, and then I think in between those skyscrapers, where is it? There in the distance you see the small office. Just to look behind the curtain. We don't simulate the whole world, which might be a surprise to some of you. We just simulate what you could actually see. And then somewhere behind the big warehouse, let me just fly there. There's the smaller warehouse, and that doesn't have anything of the outside props yet. I think maybe it has a few. Oh yeah, there's also the truck, right? Sorry again. I'm just barking him while you're talking, because I do silly stuff.
No, it's good. Oh yeah, there's the truck. It is nice.
Yes,
That'll be
good flyby.
in a future build, hopefully.
Okay, so I will actually load up the old build where we don't have debug enabled, so I can type. So let me just do this while you keep talking.
Great. Well, I mean, I think that was sort of the high level description. We did have a question. Does how you interact with the cat impact whether the line goes up? Uh,
Well, you
yeah.
define the line you want to go up. If it's the line of happiness, yes. If it's your money line, I mean, I haven't met a lot of cats besides the money cat that you sometimes find on meme sites that make your bank account grow. Is the money cat meme a thing, or is that just something that I made up now?
Uh, I don't know which one you're talking about, but I believe you that it exists.
Okay, good. There will be somewhere a cat that is about money. Um, did I just start the right one, or just did I do the same one again? Sorry, I'm a bit confused. Talking and doing something while I'm talking is not my strong suit. I did the right thing. Now I need to do it again. Um, okay, so like you walked us a bit around over like why we're talking about those or why we want to have this, right? And I mean, I think I mentioned it in one of the previous streams as well, but like a lot of the inspiration of doing the simulation also came from some of the other simulation games, right? Like you actually pointed out that in something like Supermarket Simulator, when you were unlocking more products, you would actually wait. I have the first mosquito of the year here in Sweden attacking me. you would actually have a disadvantage versus just having one or two products unlocked, right?
Yes.
And yes, you
All
need
right
to
there.
keep the conversation running. I'm trying to do something on the side here.
All right, all right, all right. Well, let's get it. Oh, this company's named after me.
Yes, we will name it after you. The other one was as well, but then unfortunately, it turned out to have the debug keys enabled, so I needed to restart it. So this is the second Ian's Emporium, actually. So when we talk about so for me, we have like, how I see it, we have like two different distinct background simulation, right? There's the price simulation, which is really on the product level, and then there's the customer simulation, which is on the customer and order level. And then of course there are other things, like we're simulating the behavior of the people and everything, but that's a more standard thing in those kinds of games. But I think the other two are what kind of sets us apart, besides other things of course, but sets us apart from a lot of other simulation games, right?
Yeah, I think the simulation actually the price simulation I didn't mention, but that's also a good point. Um, yeah, I think there's definitely an idea there that that leads to you being able to do interesting things as well, right? Like you can um, when you sell an item, like you might start your price sort of more competitive early on, and then as you go, you'll see that you start getting market share, and you might make decisions sort of based on that. So as you get more market share, you'll adjust your price accordingly, and just sort of keep an eye on what other people in the market are doing. Uh,
Yes. So it's really based on like two things, right? And it has also been a bit of a development. Sorry, I will just pause this a little bit so I can draw here a little bit. It would be nice if we could manage to get you like a pen or something as well. But we really started with the idea of just like market share, right? Um, so now it's this is not not a clock, it's market share. So this I don't know, your competition, and then you have what was your own market share, right? And then you have a market share of, I don't know, let's say in this case it's 30%. And then that would lead, if you had a price of, let's say, $100, oh, and your competition had a price of, let's say, $50. I'm trying to think about numbers that make it easier to calculate. So 30% of the price would be influenced by you, and 50% by the competition, but weighted based on your market share. So this is, and now I hand over to you, Ian. What would be the actual market price in this old system that we had?
well, the formula's complicated. You're the one who came up with it, so
Ah,
don't. My background is not in
okay. So
is
wait,
not in economics,
it's
but
100. So let's say it's 33%. So it's a third, a third exactly. So it's 200 divided by 3, right? Which is
yes.
150 is times 5, 86, and then another 12, so 92, 95, 98. So it's 88 point something, right?
200
88,
divided by 3?
88 point period 8.
66.6, right?
Sorry?
It's weighted based on the price. I'm missing
Sorry.
something here.
But maybe, yeah, maybe. Wait, it's 200 divided by.
Open up
Oh
your
my God,
calculator, Luca.
you're right. It's 666. Like never mind. Yes, that would
Okay,
have been actually a very easy calculation that I
that's a bit
didn't think
foreboding, but
about.
I'll slide.
Oh, we got a
Um,
question. Can you sell the cat as a last resort? Um,
Absolutely not.
you can throw it into the trash. Then it doesn't consume food anymore, but it will come back very angry eventually. After 3 days, it will rise and come back. 66.7. Thank you, Bofrostman. Doing all this. Okay, so this was the initial idea that we went with, right? Like, it's just a market share. A problem here is, what if you have 100% market share and you set to your price to $1 million? Suddenly the price will be, based on our very tough calculation, $1 million. That this time I'm correct, right? 1 times a
Yes,
million is 1 million.
you got that one.
So, and how did we solve that issue?
So we have we essentially have a snapback, right? So we take into account because you have sort of wholesalers who are selling this stuff to you, right?
Hmm.
And so the idea is that if you start selling something for too much money, other people will like look at that and say, "Hey, I could get in on this," and that will sort of snap the price back, right?
Yeah.
So you can exploit that high price a little bit, but really not for very long. Uh,
So
so there's
I made you a nice graph. So now you can, I don't know if you remember it. We had this graph. It's like we have the wholesale price, right? On the 0 point, which is like our anchor. Oh, this was a huge dot. I should have made this big. We have the market price, and this is the one we talked about right now, right? So if this would be a million, it would be all the way somewhere over here. But realistically, it's somewhere over here. So it's the average between you and your competition's market price. And then based on a formula, we have an adjusted market price. And what you can see is there's basically a ceiling that the price tends toward. And this comes back what I mentioned last time as well, like in a demand and supply equilibrium, eventually if the price high enough, you will lose all your sellers, right? They will only be willing to pay that much for the what's called product. For a product. So what happens is that even though you sell it to a million, they will actually not be willing to pay this. They will be only willing to pay this, and some people might still be willing to pay over it, which then comes back to customer simulation, which we go in a second. But you would you have a ceiling, and that means because you have a ceiling and your price is that high, people will stop buying from you, which means that your market share actually drops. So the price, because of the market, the share that you're losing, the market price goes down again. Oh, I got a mosquito. Ha!
nice work.
Yes. Am I right with this, or like you did the implementation of this? Am I missing something here?
No, I mean I think that's right, and yeah, but I think like so the high level thing there, right, is that as you go through the game, you're going to keep selling more and more stuff, and you're going to get market share, and then you're going to sort of wonder how to start making more money, and so you're going to try and start raising your prices, and so there's some tension there between. You can do that, but you can only do it so much before people will um, stop buying from you. But it's sort of a little game you can play within the system that we have. Um, and we'll see if it's fun in practice.
Yes. I'm promising that every cable now comes with a free Ian delivery service.
Oh, dangerous. Is that like personalized support?
I don't know. You decide what it is. And I think in this respect, like in most of the other games, simulation games or games in the genre, you basically unlock products, right? And you don't decide if you want to put them for sale, or as you can see here, you could even no, this was the wrong one. We want the products. You can even take them down again, because based on your strategy, you can decide like which products you actually want to go for. So we talked about the market share, right? But the market share is very much tied to what the customer simulation is doing. So that's where they're connected. So do you want to talk a bit about that one?
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about the market system. Um, I guess there are two kinds of orders that we can go through. The first one is actually sort of a little bit separate from the market system currently, but we're working it's working its way in slowly. And those are the basic orders. So sort of every day you'll get some you'll just get some sort of random orders from random different customers. And those will sort of change every day based on whatever you've unlocked. And you'll get more of those based on various factors, like it could be your level, it could be how many things you have available for sale. We're still working on that, trying to figure out what feels the best. Um, but I think the more interesting part is the orders that come from the market. So sort of at the beginning of the game, we generate a bunch of random customers that have things that they want, and there are different kinds. Like I mentioned earlier, so for example, you have some that just want computer parts, like some, and there are some that are what you might think of as like resellers. So they're going to want like there's a few different items that they want, but they want to buy like a whole bunch at once. And there'll be more different kinds, I think, as we go along. But those are the first two I think we're starting with. Um,
So
um, yeah.
before you continue, we have like two questions in here.
Oh,
Do you
yes.
have a system to calculate how often the printer will jam? Will you be able to sell your kidneys for printer ink? So I think that this is set in the 90s before inflation. And if I remember the 90s correctly, you had printer ink flowing like honey. And I might be a bit biased here, but I think that's exactly what happened. And then,
I mean, certainly before they had the the you know the printer DRM, so
oh yeah, oh
you
my
can
God.
fill your ink cartridges by hand. So you've got that going for you. Um,
And then the second, oh, I didn't actually buy the product. I just unlocked them. The second thing is, can you do trick shots? And yes, do you want to talk about the trick shot system? This is the third big pillar of the simulation.
well, I think you actually might know better. Well, I think Robin made that, right?
So,
Um,
yeah, he made it look nice. I just did okay, you hit the trash can, you can actually get points for it. So
so we don't have
yeah,
it.
sorry.
Yeah, we don't have it for deliveries yet, but we do have it
Ah.
for throwing away boxes.
Okay, this was
So
a
there's
very bad 8.5. My record is 11.4, I think. 11. Not enough. We got another question.
uh,
Do the people who provide reviews, customers in general, have character profiles, possibly based on previous purchases? Thinking like Theme Hospital, e.g., collects World War II shrapnels, smells faintly of cabbage. That's oddly specific.
uh, so uh, sort of right. I think they do reference sort of the products that they buy, and they do have preferences. And I think actually even now, like if you make grades on your website, they'll reference those. Um,
And I mean, they have real profiles, right? Like they have demands for certain goods. They have they are more likely to come to your website if you have successfully fulfilled um, uh, certain like previous orders, right?
yes, yes. So if you fulfill, like if you send them stuff on time, and you send them the right stuff, um, then you'll have a reputation that goes up, and they'll be more likely to order with you in the future. We did at some point. I don't think it's exposed now, but we were going to expose more of that information, but we didn't yet. There was
And,
going to be a thing on the customer tag saying basically like, oh, this person's ordered like 5 times or whatever. We'll
ah.
probably do something like that in the future.
And
Um,
if I could you, because I'm actually not sure myself how it works. So the demand value, right? Like we're saying, a customer has two things that they're like, or like two sets of values. One is like the how did you call the value that determines how likely they are to come to your store?
There's the disposition, which is how much they like you, essentially,
And
and then there's the uh, affinity, which is their desire for particular products. So for every like product that is on their list of things that they want, they have a certain desire for that.
and
Um,
how is that the affinity being set? Is this like I think the last time we talked, you said that it's a value from minus 100 to 100, or how do you? Cat.
yes, yes. So I think it goes from minus 100 to 100. So if you like ship them something super late, they'll get upset, and they'll be less likely to order from you in the future. And obviously, if you ship things on time, then they like you more.
Wait, but is this the disposition or the affinity?
That's a disposition.
Ah,
Sorry, were you
okay.
talking about the?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The affinity. How does work? So let's say the customer is one of the ones that will potentially buy something for the day. So they're rolling against the disposition, right? Disposition.
Yes, yes.
And then let's say they made that check. What happens next?
So once that happens, then we look at the list of items that they want, and we basically roll against their affinity for each one. We use a lot of die rolls in the system because it was the easiest way to reason about it. And I think we both
It's
play a lot of board games, so
it's basically D&D, right? At this point.
yeah, essentially. Well, it's doing 100 base, but
Yeah.
same idea.
So Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Okay, so they come in and then we show them a selection of like we go to product one, and what kind of value can the affinity have?
So it's usually, I believe it's between 0 and 100.
0 to 100, and then basically this is a percentile chance that like if it's 50 for product one, there's a 50-50 chance that they want to buy this. Correct.
Yes.
Okay. And then I guess so now here we have three products, right? But we have limited space in each order. How do you determine which products to choose if you have more than three, or like let's say you have 10 products?
So there's a couple things. So the order is random each time. So the customers have like 6 things that they wanted. We roll against the affinity for each item. But I mean, first we check to see because you're not going to stock everything right away. So
Yeah.
so uh, we'll say like, do you have this item? Do they want it? Um,
Okay. So basically you have a product pool, and the product pool is made out of like all the items you put for sale, and then we roll basically here which of those items, or what's the order that the the person will check if they like it, and then they will continue until either they're out of product, or until they're out of spaces in their order.
I believe they'll give up if there's a few things that they want, but they can't find them. They will sort of stop eventually. Um, so
Ah, okay.
so the idea being that the more items that you get in your store, like the more likely that they can get through the first items in their list of things that they want.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Okay, great. And then I guess the next question is, and we just accidentally ended the day automatically. Another bug fixed in the latest version. I will make sure for next week's stream we're going to have the latest build. Um, so let's say, okay, now they actually said, I want product one. Then we have a check against the price, right?
Yes. So we'll look to see that the price is within their sort of acceptable range.
And how is that determined?
So when we create the customer, we have a sort of a range of price they're willing to buy at. So it's usually based on the market price. So they'll be like, well, I'll buy it a little over the market price, or I'll buy it a little under the the market price.
So, and
Or right.
what are the value? I think last time we talked, it was something like -5 to 20, right?
It's yeah. It's usually like 5% under or 20% over. It's a percentage.
Okay, and that basically, if we go back to what we had before, our price curve means like the market price might be at this value here, but they are still willing to pay like $20 more if they're 20, or they're willing to pay $5 less, right?
Yeah, yeah. Some yeah,
This is
yeah.
getting a little bit full. And then I guess now this ties back to the market share. So how do we then calculate the market share that's coming out of it? Oh, but before we go there, actually, before you answer this question, we have another question. Is there a finite amount of customers?
So we generate them currently at the beginning of the game. There's a few. There's a few. I think there's a few hundred at the moment, possibly a few thousand. I actually don't remember the exact number. A lot of that is sort of still subject to change, just because like I think it's fairly early. We don't have all the products in yet, and so we need to think about what the right number is there.
And I
Um,
guess, but it's easily scalable, right?
well, yes, it's. I mean, it's scalable up to a point. It's still. Uh, I guess the computation we do per day is not uh, is pretty scalable.
And then when we like I guess the only negative side with having a huge customer pool is that then you would get less of the same, because like what happens is that each day a certain number from the customer pool is trying to buy something, right? They're looking to enter a store and buy something. It's not that all thousands are looking for something to buy, right?
That's correct. Yes, we pick a random number currently. This is again, this is all currently. Like there's. I think we're. Yeah.
And that basically means then that we are going to have, if we have a very huge customer pool, it's less likely that you find someone that has already shipped the product, which means that it takes longer to increase the disposition part of your customer base as a whole to come to your store.
Yeah, I think it's an. I think that's an interesting area that we're going to have to probably iterate on as we have more customers, right? Like you can imagine there being somebody comes to your shop and they do something and they order stuff and then you ship it on time. Like you can definitely imagine that those people would be the ones who are likely to come in. So maybe we have a way for you to pay more attention to them,
Mm,
or they'll just be in a sort of a separate bucket maybe where we're more likely to pick those ones. Again, I think
so-
it's all sort of subject to testing, especially as we get more items in and more customers.
yeah, fair enough. Okay, and then actually, so now the question derailed the original question a bit. How do we deal with no, sorry, I'm trying to do two things at the same time again. How do we create the market share? Like, how's that calculated?
So the market share is actually pretty simple, right? Because you have a bunch of we have a pool of customers. Um, we know how likely they want we know how badly they want to buy each product. And we know how many of each product they want to buy when they go shopping. So we can just sort of look at that and say, okay, uh, you know, we just find the market size based on that. We assume everybody's sort of like buying stuff. Uh, I don't know if we're assuming everyone's buying things every day. I can't remember the exact number, but there is a but it's basically essentially that, right? Like we look at all the customers and how much they want to buy stuff, and we just add it together. um, so if you've got 50 customers that want to buy charging cables in the pool, and they want to buy one charging cable each, then the total market is 50 um,
Okay.
per day.
And
Um,
if I remember correctly, because you can have a lot of spikes, right? Because if I the original plan was to have like around 50 people looking for something every day, but sometimes you don't have anyone looking for something, or sometimes you're unlucky. So are we looking still at the average over like a full week to determine the market share, or is it like a daily occurrence?
So I believe the graphs currently track it weekly.
So it's like the 7 day average that shows you. I want them to walk the farthest way possible, so they're going to be here. um, Oops. We could also actually give the cat 10.4. Um, okay, cool. We have a question. How much RAM can someone buy in one? Is there a limit?
Uh, well, the boxes can only hold 6 items for now. Um, so there's that. Um,
The next comment was fucking scalpers. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I mean, we did, yeah, I mean, we did sort of have the idea of like what other things we can add to the market simulation to make it more interesting. Like the idea that like sometimes the market would be very, uh, you'd have, I mean, we call it eCommerce 99, right? So like, of course, we want to have the ability for there to be a crash, but there might be like times where the market is very hot, or and people really want to buy stuff, buy certain items. We don't have that in at the moment, uh,
Okay,
but it's really just about figuring out what's fun.
I think it's also important to mention, right? We talked a lot about in the market share. Oops, in the what am I doing? In the market share Venn diagram, we talked about our part, right? That's us, you. But we didn't talk about the competition. So the competition is basically what you don't fulfill in demand, but their price also changes, right? And how does that work?
So the rest of the market is pretty abstract, right? We don't currently have like a simulation of all your competitors. It's basically aggregated, right? Like we have a target, we have a price that the rest of the basically it's an average price that the rest of your customers are pricing the item at,
Mhm.
and that's an input into the overall like the market price that you see. Um, oh, you got a message on your phone. Um,
So
oh,
we have there is also to simulate a bit of the like fluctuations in the market, right? We have like the wholesale price that is fluctuating very little over time, like around a certain number, but sometimes it goes up a little bit, sometimes it goes down a little bit. And then we have the market, so the price of the your competition does something similar where it fluctuates around a certain price, right?
yes, yes. I mean, they react to you too, though, right? Like,
Yes,
that's the
exactly.
idea.
Also something I just realized that we need to fix in the simulation. At the moment, we have them go up with the chance of like by one, or not by chance, but they go up 1% or down 1%, which means that they will actually trend downwards over time. We need to fix that relationship.
Yeah,
Note to ourselves.
that's how
Um,
percentages work.
yes. The second thing that you actually built was the event system, right? Where like this is happening, like basically the natural like ups and downs. Like this is really to simulate. Okay, some people have a discount in the market, but it's a big market with a lot of retailers. Some people are increasing price a little bit, but then you also have, especially on the wholesale side, um, discounts, right?
Yes. So you can have the wholesalers will occasionally run discounts. I think we had to disable that temporarily because of the way that we changed the way the markets worked a little bit. But but yeah, essentially, and again, it's just a way to change how you interact with the system, right? Like um, um,
Where are my charging
currently, you
cables?
don't really need to buy more items than you sort of stock on your shelves here. Like and you can kind of see it's the way we're playing, right? Um, like Luca runs out of mouse pads and then buys some more. But the idea there essentially is that like, hey, well, you can get them for less now, so maybe you'll stock up on them, and but then maybe you need more shelf space, and so you got to buy more shelf space. So just little ways to sort of like mix up mix up the things that you do day to day.
Okay, okay. No scope. Uh,
Good
that
luck.
that was
Well, close.
the cat is very confused. You know what, cat? This is yours to play with. Yes. I think there's also something that we need to discuss, like for example, delivery fees and things like that, where it might be more beneficial to order things together, right? So there's a lot of features that could potentially go into the game, but we also need to look at scope and what makes sense and is actually fun.
Yeah, I mean it's basically just about strategy, right? Like
Yeah.
what is interesting to do, um, what what changes the strategy in sort of an interesting way.
Can the workers unionize?
Um, you never want to say anything's off the table, right? Um,
Can you put one of your colleagues in or employees in the bin besides the cat?
well, you
Uh,
can't pick up people,
yes,
as far as I
people.
know.
This is a very like capitalist-centric society. We don't pick up people. They need to pick themselves up by their own bootstraps. Can we also have another one? Can they ionize?
Can they ionize?
Yes, I think that is just a joke question. We made tons of money. That's
That
what
was a good
happens
day.
if you pick yourself up by the bootstraps. You make money.
There was a lot of orders there that day. I think that was probably part of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
also,
because I think I mean, just with the way the simulated orders work, like sometimes you can get lucky and get a whole bunch, or you get somebody who orders like six of something.
yeah.
Um, so
And also like the interesting part with the simulation is that there is actually a decision which product you want to unlock next, because some of them have higher margins than others because of the random movement of the things. Some of them you can actually figure out in the analytics tool that you get access later when you get the analysts. You can see which ones, if people searched for a certain product on your website to actually buy, but they couldn't find it. So you know where you want to invest your capital in. What did I want to buy? Buyers! I want. Did it work? Now it worked. I wanted the buyer to get more unlock points. And for buyer, I of course need desk. Yeah, so a lot of the simulations actually exposed to you throughout the game. Where do we? I think he should sit in the middle of the room.
it's right in the middle.
Yes, or she. Um, so you end up with a situation where at the beginning of the game things are relatively like free for all. You unlock a few products and you don't have yet the insights into the simulation. But then the further you progress, the more you switch from being the person that fulfills everything and that has oh my god, maybe no, that didn't work. And you go to someone who has insights and all those things and has people hired that give them insights into how certain products work.
Doing your
So,
best.
yeah, exactly. You invest so you can actually see where it makes most sense to allocate your hard-earned cash. 12.7! Yes!
Very
That's a new
impressive.
record. Okay, I cheated a bit with the desks. Actually,
Is it cheating to use the desk?
I'm sorry. We're going to invest in this now. Okay, I want...
Did you
Okay,
ever?
so sorry, we need to do precision turning to fit this in here. And then I need a new box. What's the cheapest we can get? It's the charging cables. Sorry, what were you asking?
I was not asking anything. I mean, I think the thing with the market system is that it was RAM. I think that you ran out of no charging cables.
Yeah, I didn't care. I am here for...
Oh, you're just here to show the box.
Yes!
Okay, sorry.
Look.
Sorry.
Ah. Like, why do you think I bought this table in the middle of the room? Do you think I did that for fun?
Fair enough.
No, I still need to jump. Okay. At the moment, the distance determines how much points you get. I'm sorry, you in this stream now became me trying to get more points in the minigame stream. I have a guy that does the actual work. But we have... can you put one of your colleagues in the bin? We already talked about that one. If you put up motivation posters, will your workers be more productive? Yes.
That has been in the design doc for a long time.
It is one of the features that we will be... So at the moment we're focusing on like the core features and everything, but it's definitely something we want to have in, where you can have specific furniture and maybe even wage... why did I do this? I lost cat. I'm sorry. I need this box.
I like that you're talking about core features of the game while you're throwing boxes into this trash. bin.
No. Okay.
8.7. Okay.
That was
Fair
terrible. And the
enough.
day's over. Yes, and it's
I think
definitely... Yeah, sorry. You go ahead.
it's definitely the case that we're working on some of the core features, but there is a certain amount of you do what is interesting as well, right? So
Yes.
um, um, I think
So I think
the
the...
motivational posters are not off the table if
Yes.
kind of somebody's mood.
I think at the moment the idea is that if we're getting there, or when we're getting there, we're going to look into giving each worker a certain motivation level, basically, and based on that, they will do their work quicker or not. And throughout the day, they will deplete that motivation, and you can actually help them to get more by providing them with resting areas. I ordered a lot of charging cables, didn't I? Oh, need mice. Oh, you're hungry. She's meowing the whole time, and now she went out to hunt. You would, yeah, if they can rest somewhere, if you set up a nice worker area for them to enjoy themselves, that would actually increase their productiveness. You can speak English. How do you say this word? Productivity. Thank you. So you make more money, and then you have overall stats, like for example the wage, or maybe even promotions that would increase their starting motivation at the beginning of the day, so they have a bigger motivation pool. So there's I need to fill up the motivation throughout the day, and I need to make sure that they also start with a high level. If I pay them very little, they probably have very low motivation, but you of course make more money. So maybe you can make that up with more people being employed, but maybe higher quality people, higher motivated people are more profitable for you. What do you think? Does that sound about right?
That sounds like a set of interesting trade-offs. So that is certainly what we're going for.
Will there be a simulation of seasonal sales like Christmas, Black Friday, and stuff?
That was, I don't know if it was on the design docs, but it definitely was something that I was interested in. It was in some of the early. We had talked about there was an idea for seasonal items earlier on uh, in the design. So like you could have, for example, like I don't know, like kiddie pools that sell really well in the summer, but they don't move at all in the winter. Um, and I don't know, it seemed interesting, right? Because
Yeah.
like you'd want to like stock that stuff up in the summer, but also the price would probably be higher in the summer to buy them because they're popular. So maybe you can try and keep them in storage for a while. Um, um, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think there's room to do that. We don't have it planned yet, but I mean, it's definitely on the list of things I'd like to try.
Yes, I think
Maybe.
also this is probably a feature that we can now with the price simulation that we have in relatively easy put into the game, right? We need to inform the player that this is happening, and then we can artificially increase or decrease the price of a specific good or a general type of good.
Yeah, I think in general the passage of time is something that we probably need to work on a little bit. Like we just have the days are numbered right now, so it's sort of like you just have the
But we have this
you know
perfect
day
calendar.
20.
I
Yeah, I mean
mean,
you have the number.
what else do you
So
need in your calendar? Yeah, but I agree. This is something also for immersion's sake. We want to have probably some kind of number, and maybe we can do something that is a calendar but with less days. So like a month has, I don't know, 10 days or something, or 8 days. Or maybe a week. 7 days is a month, and then you go from month to month, and then you have certain events each month.
I think the industry standard set by farming games is 28 days a month, but we'll work it out.
Yes, I mean
This
then
makes the
it's.
weeks work out really nicely.
But then with the farming games, they're also often 1 month is sorry for that. 1 month is a full season, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes. Sorry, you're right. Yes, you're talking about months, not seasons. So probably,
So we
probably
would
7 days.
actually have 28. Uh, okay, so now I bought the what's this? What did I? Oh, the monitors. But oh, yes, they're still the old ones. They're still the no. We need the big one. For these, we are still we're changing them to big monitors to the CRTV. Um, not enough money. Okay, I bought the products I can't sell because we don't have the money. Also, I didn't actually put it live on the website.
Well, it's
Um,
probably good because you can't sell it.
yeah, but like we need to vet the appetite of our customer base. I want to make some more money around it. Ian in 2D. Everything is Ian focused in Ian's Emporium. Will there be items of different fragility and different kinds of packaging which you will have to choose accordingly? Yeah, let me use your computer.
Um,
That's something we haven't thought about yet, right?
yeah, I don't think we've thought about that. Um, like we do have the. I think right now, if you ship anything without the packing material, you'll get a bad review, or there's at least a chance you'll get a bad review, and somebody will be like, my item's broken," um, um, and they'll be sad. So, uh, and you'll be sad too because you'll get a bad review. Um, but
We need the money to
but
pay
yeah,
you.
I mean it's again it's like another interesting idea, right? Like there's lots of ways that you can sort of the system is very
Expandable.
uh, yeah, it's very extensible, um, and I think we like the core loop is like we I think the core loop is pretty good, but we definitely need to like keep thinking about what interesting things we can add on to it.
Yes. We unlocked a small warehouse, but that's not set up yet, so we will not go there. Yes, I invested a lot into those monitors. I hope they sell, because at the moment we're a bit cash starved. I also shouldn't have spent so much money on the table. Yeah, at the beginning you start with there's a lot of balancing to be done here, right? But you start with relatively little money and you're growing your business, and later you will have quite a lot of money, but you need to see where you invest your time, and also the scale that you want to build up. We need more charging cables. Why do you want to accidentally pack the cat food? Is this something that happened to you? Did Amazon send you a cat food package? Or the cat?
That's never happened to me, but sometimes they don't package the stuff very well, I guess. You get
Could you sort of imprison one of your workers in a prison of death, isolate them from their colleagues and prevent them from doing their jobs? Sort of putting one of your Sims in a pool and removing the ladder. Yes. Yes, you can.
You sound like you have experience with this.
Yes, you definitely can. We're trying to have the player be able to do some wonky stuff, especially with the AI, and seeing how they kind of can abuse the systems that we're building there. I would say it's a creative choice if you want to go down that route, and maybe it's not too different from modern companies. Yes. Great. So we are almost out of time. Will there be war crimes?
Well, I hope not.
Yes, I'm just thinking what war crimes involve warehouses and e-commerce.
You know, I think it's pretty easy to get there if you start selling weapons, but so far that's not a planned feature. And I think we're not going in that direction, but there is an interesting game there for sure.
War crime from warehouse game.
Well, I mean, maybe not as like that specific thing, but the
The war crime simulator?
well, I had this idea in my head at one point that because this was like way back before when we were trying to think of like a theme, right? We settled on this, but we could have gone in a number of different directions, and I think one of the directions would have been something futuristic. I was thinking like a space station simulator type thing where you're like a guy on a space station, like bundling up packages and maybe what some of the contents are, and maybe you don't know in some of the other ones.
I see.
And you just you get random orders. I think I mean you think about games like like Papers, Please, where you have to sort of make decisions based on the orders that you get in with, you have to make decisions about people who come through the gate, whether you come into the country, right? Maybe you get some orders and you have to decide how you fill them. It's a totally different game, but I don't know, it's an interesting concept.
I mean, we in the latest version we have the what's called the messaging system, right? And we're putting some smaller story bits in there, so maybe there is a way where you have certain orders that are generated for this, but then your workers will probably fulfill them.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, is that we are focused
so close. Are you fucking kidding me? Can you believe this? He just had to bring it to this corner to finish this order. He decided to go home.
They worked a contract, man.
Yeah, lazy workers. Like, I mean, he also they stay overtime a bit to fulfill their orders, but then eventually they
Oh,
just
that's
like,
right. Yeah, they do stay like an extra hour. So
yeah,
so he was already pushing it, frankly.
he made it
Uh,
like 20 centimeters to the finishing line. Decided, nope, this is too much. This is too much. Well, so we're ending this day. We're also at the hour mark, so we will also end the stream. So thank you. I will switch back to our face view. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you, Ian, for joining us today. And hopefully we have you on soon again.
yeah, hopefully it's fun.
Great. Then thanks, everybody. And see you next week at 9 o'clock CEST. Bye bye.
Bye.